To begin at the beginning, the cobbled street silent, and the hunched courters and rabbits wood, limping invisible down to the slow black, crow-black, fish-boat bobbing sea.
Those were the words of Dylan Thomas, famous son of this area, Swansea. Did he like model trains? I don't know, but we do, and that's why we're here at the Swansea Model Railway Show. Let's go take a look. It would take more than torrential rain to stop Swansea's model railway enthusiasts dropping in on this popular annual event, now in its 13th year. Lots of trade stands, lots of great exhibits. What more could any model railway fan want? And in terms of the layouts, well, the Welsh contingent was in attendance in a big way. Starting with Cwmfelen Parkway, representing a fictitious Welsh parkway station. The station is on a Western Region main line on the outskirts of a town. Cwmpenol Junction is a beautifully constructed layout with so much attention to detail, an O-gauge by Jeff Cox. The layout depicts a branch line terminus station set in South Wales in the 1920s and early 30s. To EM gauge now, and Laraglin by Richard Lloydell represents a branch line of the real Cambrian railways. The model is set in the years around 1910 to 1912, when the Cambrian was probably at its most successful. The locomotives and rolling stock are a mixture of kit-built and scratch-built items. The station building, goods shed and water tower are based on Cambrian prototypes from elsewhere, while the smithy is a model of the real smithy at Laraglin. And by the way, that little dragon helped Laraglin win the Best in Show Chairman's Choice Award. Another gorgeous and intricate layout, Penlynbach, built by Ian Arkley, but now owned and extended by the Swansea Railway Modellers Group. Penlynbach depicts a typical Welsh narrow gauge railway about to be rescued by preservation. Now, Swansea Railway Modellers Group asks, just how small can you make an operating O-gauge model railway? Well, apparently very small, as depicted here by Thornley. Small but mighty. What was so lovely to see at the show was the Swansea Railway Modellers Group junior section, massively engaged and loving every minute, none more so than club member Alfie.
The best bit is the track layout. We can run trains into the bay, run rounds. It's fun. I've learned how sound chip engines work. That's what I did not know before. Having their own controller is just amazingly. You can toot the whistle whenever you want.
And what does Alfie want to be when he grows up?
Train driver.
No surprises there then.
I would love to be a train driver. That is my dream job.
Let's get back to the layouts. Shall we play a game of Where's Dawny? There I am, and incidentally in this picture I'm chatting to the lovely Anthony Willis, who popped by with his dad Alex, and a very special gift for Grumpy. It was lovely to chat to so many people about the inspiration for Brief Encounter Monochrome, and yes, talking about how many shades of grey I used, 32 at last count. More 00 now, and Dilwyn by Nigel Broad, a scene on a joint Great Western and LMS line in the Welsh borders, showcasing trains from the grouping and BR. Inspired by childhood memories of rail trips into Birmingham, passing Duddeston Wagon Repair Depot, Farbine Road recreates the rundown feel of the Birmingham industrial area. Set in the blue diesel era, it features passenger operations and a wagon repair depot, all in a small space. Not sure why, but looking at Neil and Sue's layout reminded me I wanted to stop by the Oxford diecast stand, and while I was there I chatted to MD Eloise Davies. Now, Grumpy and I are huge fans of your Lucky Dip on YouTube. We are like spellbound. Tell us about the idea, for those who haven't seen it. How does it work?
So I've tried to come up with some unique ways. I recognise that people are enjoying watching live videos, YouTube videos, and putting a face to the business as opposed to just posting marketing posts all the time. So as camera shy as I was, I decided to put a bit more effort into maybe it's games you can call it, but it's fun, it's entertainment. We're giving people like a treat, some prizes. You get each one's a bit different. So we did a raffle tickets last time, but yeah, it's just something fun to keep people enjoying the hobby. You know, some people maybe have a quiet Friday night, and maybe I'm the new Friday night entertainment.
Well, we're hooked, I tell you. You can catch more of my interview with Eloise in a separate video. Make sure you subscribe so as not to miss it. Rounding out the 00 gang was the absolutely stunning Artists Valley. Craig Owen is the current custodian, having added additional features to the original design and build by Paul Bembrick and Neil Podbury for Whalley 2023.
The idea behind Artists Valley was firstly to try and demonstrate just what can be fitted onto an 8x4 board. I think as modelers, so often we conceptualise an 8x4, try and cram as much track and details and excitement as we can. Actually, you can achieve a Pendon-like kind of atmosphere with beautiful scenery in that same space. One of the things which people find most interesting is the 3D perspective modelling that's used on Artists Valley. Obviously, the railway line in the front is 00 gauge, 4mm scale, but as you go towards the buildings at the back, they're in N gauge, 2mm scale, and they're also, if you look very closely at them, they're not square, they're slightly wonky, and that is part of the forced perspective. Once you get right to the back, it's not so much Z scale as literally sort of flat pieces of cardboard with foliage on that gives the impression of lots of extra layers of trees. The other thing which a lot of people I think find quite a relief, because they look at all the trees and they kind of go, I'd never be able to make all of that. But actually, if you look really closely, there's only a few detailed trees. So a lot of effort's gone into a few of them, but most of them are actually just foliage on a net. And for a lot of modelers, I think that suddenly makes them realise, actually, I could do that. It is possible to model something this beautiful without having to spend my entire life making trees. I think the thing which has made the biggest difference at exhibitions recently has been little touches like the working signals here, and then also the characters scattered around the layout. That's the thing which is particularly magic with kids and families. So here we have the artists, after which Artists Valley is named. It's one of many cameo scenes on the layout, but they're actually there with their easel, and if you look really closely, the scene they're painting is actually that scene. And we had a particularly hilarious moment yesterday where a young lad scrutinised it for a moment and then went, "Is that a Sterling single in there?" Which I just thought was incredible that he'd been able to identify it.
Now move over Stockton and Darlington, because the first ever fare-paying passenger railway in the world was actually here, in Swansea. The Mumbles train was a horse-drawn railway carrying passengers from Swansea to Oystermouth. A question for Grumpy's Quiz of the Week, I'm sure. And that gives me a nice little segue into trams, but not in Wales, this time in Bremen, Germany. Continuing our globetrotting, and it's a quick visit to China with Beijiao, one of my favourite layouts of all time. from China to Norway, and yes, another one of my favourites. Norway, or Norge, is by Mike Carter, and a really delightful element of this layout is this cyclist. And also these chickens. Time for some N-gauge now, and this beautiful layout by Chris Wardrop, Ashfield. The Swansea show didn't disappoint, so many of my favourite layouts all under one roof, and this one was voted my top layout of 2023, Moorsview by Paul Holwill. People speak about Moorsview in very hushed tones. Something about it is so very special. Just looking at it makes me feel cold. From Moorsview to Cornwall with New Vadden Parkway, a guaranteed crowd pleaser this one, with always something moving on it. So much so it won Best in Show as voted by the public. Well done Darren, Nigel and the team. Two more layouts now, and this one is EM Gauge from the South Hants Model Railway Club. It's Hope under Dinmore, and what an impressive layout this was. Hope is based on a fictitious station sited north of Dinmore Tunnel on the joint GWR-LNWR Shrewsbury to Hereford line. The layout is set in the period before World War I, and GWR and LNWR stock run to a schedule. Finally, it's Heybridge Wharf, built to exact 3mm scale on 14.2mm track. Heybridge Wharf depicts a fictitious Suffolk branch line serving an inland wharf with one of the last barges still trading. So many great layouts, I couldn't show them all, and of course some fabulous trade stands. Thanks to the Swansea Railway Modellers Group, what a wonderful show, and thanks to everyone who stopped by Brief Encounter Monochrome to have a chat. That's it from the show, and that's it from me. See you next time. Bye bye. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all my future videos. And why not browse the shop at modelrailwayquest.com/shop. And to receive a 10% discount on everything in the shop, become a Questie. Join the Model Railway Quest membership to receive that discount and a whole bunch of perks and goodies. Details on how to join are above. I'm Dawn Quest, and this is Model Railway Quest.